Well, good evening. I think I'm on here live, and I'm a little late because I had 4 beers and a pint of bourbon, and I'm completely drunk. I'm supposed to be on here to do this uplift, but I'm just totally wasted. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. But then I do have to say, April Fools! I had to start with that because I'm kidding, of course. I am here, and I want to say hello to all of you who are watching. I'm Buzz Noe. I was going to talk to you today because it is April Fool's. I had to start with a joke because it is April 1st, and we also know this as April Fool's Day. And I'm 75 years old, and we all know there's no fool like an old fool. And that certainly sums me up. So, welcome to April Fools, but love rules. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit tonight about that while Lynn's making me a delicious dinner, which I'm excited about it coming up also. But it is a tradition on April 1st to call it April Fool's Day, and a tradition of playing some sort of practical joke or a prank on this day that dates back many, many, many centuries. And because I was doing a talk on it, I wanted to research a little bit and see how April 1st came up to be April Fool's Day. And there's really no specific cause or beginning as to why that date is considered April Fool's Day. But several references came up with a good possibility that could explain why we use that date, is because it may have gone back several centuries when the French switched from the Julian to the Gregorian calendar. And now the first of the year, the new year, went from the late March, early April on the Julian calendar to January 1st on the French calendar, the Gregorian calendar. And as you might imagine, a lot of people were a little slow on making that change in their lives. So they continued to look at April 1st as the new year. And after a while, they were considered to be fools for doing that. So that may have been the beginning of April Fool's Day, anyone who was celebrating New Year's Day after 3 months of it already being into place. So you can imagine if you were celebrating New Year's on April 1st, you were a fool indeed, and that's probably why. The tradition of playing jokes on April 1st has continued, but one of the funny things about fool, because I wanted to do some research on what it was all about, was the actual word fuel. The actual word fool has many interpretations throughout the world, throughout our lives, everywhere, on everything. I even looked it up in the dictionary, and even there it states that it can refer to a person who acts unwisely or imprudently, a fool, or a silly person doing humorous acts. So both of them are fools, but one is something that you'd want to have in your life, bringing goodness. The other one is something you'd probably want to stay away from. And we all probably have used that term in different ways throughout our lives. One phrase that you might have said, or you can hear people certainly say, is, I was a fool. We've probably all used it when you did something that you shouldn't have done, or something that was unwise or not at the right time, and you did it and things didn't work out to the right way. It was a foolish thing, or you were a fool to do so. And then the other one is that you could say, hey, I was just fooling, when you say something that was not totally correct, or you were just making something up and someone starts to get misled. I was only fooling is a way to indicate that it was indeed a humorous act on your part. So that word fool is often used to denigrate or demonize someone, an act or a person. Oh, that guy's such a fool. Oh, that thing he did was just the foolish thing to do. And that could be, you could make that judgment on someone as being evil or inappropriate, as being a fool, trying to fool you. And I can certainly imagine that we've all been in that situation where our reaction was, that person tried to fool me into believing this was true, tried to fool me into taking that, tried to fool me with the wrong direction. Things like that often come up in our lives. So that term fool, which we celebrate on this date, is used a lot in different ways by different people for different things. And That is another one that you might hear when you've been deceived, or if someone has been deceived, and you'll hear them say, "Whoa, they really made a fool out of me," and that could be taken different ways. They thought that you were being funny, so they made a fool out of me, or they tried to trick you or convince you to do something that wasn't correct or right. They tried to make a fool out of you. So it's the same word, but in a different context. It can mean having a sense of humor and doing something funny, and that's where we act the fool. If you are doing something funny to bring humor into someone and make their lives more joyful, well, then you are fooling, but in a positive way. And that's what I wanted to address this evening. We can all be fooled. We can all be fools. We can all fool someone, and most likely in our lives have done that, have had it done to us, or if you haven't already, probably will at some point. Either be fooled or try to fool someone. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? That's where we get into this context of how we're being foolish, how we're looking at being fooled. And this is what I wanted to address tonight. If you go forward in your life with love as your primary motivation, then the fooling you will do is going to be positive. It'll bring laughter and joy to another person. That will help their mental, their physical health, keeps their brain going, because laughter and humor, and Lynn and I have done a lot of research on that because it's one of the things we're doing with our company Renaissance now. Those things not only make your life better at the time, but they actually add to your brain health, and the conjunction of the right and left brain bring things together and make you physically healthier at the same time. So that's what I'm suggesting here, is to go forward and those opportunities where you have to be fooled or get fooled, have love be that primary motivation, and things are going to be good on the other side. Opposed to this in so many ways is doing the same fooling around with someone. But if that activity that you're doing to fool them is motivated by hate, greed, anger, jealousy, revenge, those things that we know are part of our human situation, but we try to stay away from them in our teaching and at our center, because they aren't going to bring any positive aspects to life. So if that activity is motivated by those negative things, then it's not something you want to do. It's not something you want to participate in. You certainly want to avoid that coming into your life. Seeking to fool another person to take advantage of them in any way is not the path we should ever, ever, ever choose to take. Good fools, and there are a lot of them, are the people in our lives that bring us joy and humor. At the same time, bad fools are racists, anyone who's feeling that a group of people is not their equal, not deserving of the equal love that they're giving everyone else, and not deserving of the equal love and blessing that we all seek from the infinite nature of God that's there for us all. We need to see everyone as being equal in that situation, be equal in the existence they are here on earth. And no one is less or more because of who they are or where they came from. And keep that in mind, move forward with love. And then when you do something that's foolish or you're fooling with them, it's going to be something that will be positive and generate some goodness in their lives. Certainly it applies to the April Fool's Day, which is today. If you're playing a joke on someone on this date, and you're doing it to give them a laugh, make them feel good, then you are using the word and the date wisely, and it's in a positive and uplifting manner. So with that context in mind, what I'd like to do here, and this won't be a fool, this is going to be serious, I would like to do a brief treatment that brings this to mind and puts us into that mindscape as we move forward into this lovely April spring weather that's coming up now. So as I say these words in the first person, please do make them your own and know along with me this truth. I know right here and right now, in this very singular moment of time, in the ongoing evolution of time and space, that everything in this universe, everything in the infinite existing of life itself is here and now. It's all now, And it's all coming from the same source, the one infinite manifestation of life that we see as God, bringing forth everything and everyone that is. And since I'm here in this now moment and coming from that one source, I am there in and thereby connected to all that is, connected to everyone, connected to everything, connected to every aspect of the universe simply by being here from the same creation of the infinite oneness of God. And I know that as I am here and now and one with everything, as I go forward in my life, motivated by love and caring and sharing, giving, kindness, compassion, these positive aspects of our human condition that we look on as being the ones we want to amplify and bring us forward in motivation, that my life will continue to reflect those same qualities in my life. The things that I see are being fun will be shared by everyone and enjoyed by everyone. I avoid and stay away from that motivation ever by anger, greed, hatred, those things that we look at as being the qualities that we would rather not have existing in our human situation. So that is the choice that I make here on this April 1st, as well as every day and in every moment of my life, knowing that as I continue to make that choice, my life will continue to unfold perfectly. And I do want to say thank you to God for the awareness of the choice I have to make and making that choice to be motivated through and by love and compassion and kindness. And knowing that as I do so, God will also bring forth these same qualities into my life. And I will continue to have the joy and happiness that I know life can provide whenever I allow myself to be open to its revelation and its manifestation. And I do release these words of oneness and joy and laughter to the oneness that is God, the infinite nature of God, knowing that the infinity that God reflects can take care of all the details in my life while I continue to move forward, motivated by that same quality of love and kindness and compassion. I thank God for this. I release these words, and together we can close this treatment by saying in unison, and so it is. And so it is that I'm going to sign off, but I would like to leave you with one brief note before I go. You may wonder sometimes why so many people are tired on April 1st. Well, the answer is simple. If you're tired on April 1st, it's because you have just finished a very long 31-day march. Wow. It's good that we're still here. And on that note, I want to say thank you for being here for this uplift, hoping that it was uplifting for you, and that as you continue to go forth in your life, motivated primarily by love, then the foolishness of life will come to you and show you the joy and the fun that life can bring. And that's it. Thank you very much for being here. I'm going to sign off and have some dinner with my wonderful and loving wife, Lynn. Take care all and be well. Bye-bye.